Yo, yo, yo. What's up, guys? Good morning. All right, so. Yo, yo, yo. What's up, guys? Good morning. Yo, yo, yo. All right. What's up, Stock Locker? Oh, look at Overstock, OSTK. I've traded this one a lot. It fades nicely. It bounces nicely. And so I'm going to be watching Overstock. Look at this thing move. I'm guessing it's earnings, right? That's what I'm assuming it is. Look at this move up from 22 up to 23, 25, all the way to 67 as well. So we'll see what happens with that one. Watching Overstock.com. Also watching Lyft, LYFT. That one's not really moving much. I'm just looking at the scanners from Trade Ideas. If you want to check out the same scanners I'm using, I'll post the Trade Ideas link in here. Best scanners in the game by far. We got WATT. I used to actually trade WATT a lot, and it was tradable. It's actually lost a lot of price, and it's still tradable. So I'm watching WATT, penny stock that's available on TEFs for once. So I'll definitely keep an eye on that one as well. See how much fun that one is to trade. Yeah, so ST&E, ACST as well. ACST and ST&E. ST&E is tradable. ACST is not, which is not surprising. There's also HLIT, MU looking kind of strong here. AMD with the big spike up here. Look at AMD here. So Overstock, AMD. Look at this move. So it's actually, last time I looked at AMD, it was actually red in after hours and extended hours. Now it actually rebounded in pre-market and it's green. So yeah, we'll see what happens with AMD here. I guess I'm going to add that one to my watch list as well. Yeah, so we got a few options here. All right. All right, guys. Let's see what the chat is saying this morning. What's up, Austin? Richard. That's how you say it, correct? It's French, right? Your name sounds super French. So I'm assuming your name is pronounced Richard Chapoteau. Or Chapoteau. I'm guessing, right? Richard Chapoteau. Let's see. Yeah, AMD pulling back here. S&E, Sony. I know Richard mentioned that one too. Sony looks okay. Hey John, do you have a daily goal before going into trades? So I've talked about it with Mitch before. I most of the time look at my risk reward ratio. Most of the time, that's kind of what I'm watching. For my daily goal, I'd preferably like to keep my losses under $50 and my gains over 100. It's still something I'm working with, obviously. I've actually recently scaled that up a little bit, and I had a talk with Mitch about it. I think now my daily goal is 300, and my max loss is 150. Is what I'm really kind of shooting for now, and so it takes a little bit of time. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm shooting for at this point. Is that's kind of what I'm trying to do now. Is make 150 to 300 a day, and don't lose more than 150. Is kind of how I'm trying to do it. All right, so what's everybody's main watch today? Like I said, Overstock doesn't look that bad. We also have, if you like penny stocks, we have VRNS or VLRX. Sorry, VLRX gapping up from 250 all the way to 284s here. So if you look at VLRX, you do see this gap up here, up to 284s. We also have SLCA gapping up some. VRNS recently making moves. FOMX, CODX, WATT, which, like I said, is a former runner, and it's one that used to be tradable and that still is tradable on TEFs. OSTK with a really solid move. We'll have to look that news up in a minute. AYTU, former runner here. HLIT, we got EROS. So yeah, we got some volume, not a ton honestly in pre-market. The two biggest penny stock movers are VLRX and ACST. I think those look solid. But then we got AMD, Overstock. We got MU gapping up some. So microchip sector, ST&E. We got SSNC, Sony. We got CGC, which isn't doing much. So yeah, we got some. YNDX is one I've been watching some as well. PG, P&G, Procter & Gamble looks okay. INCY, SA, BP. So yeah, we got some options here. You'll have to look up some news in a second. I'm going to go grab myself some coffee, guys, so I'll be right back. I'm going to make myself a little bit smaller here. There we go. All right, I'm gonna go grab my tea. I actually made myself some tea. See if that'll help with nausea. So yeah, I'll be right back, guys. I'm trying tea this morning instead of coffee, guys. Tea instead of coffee. One of my neighbors said that he gets nauseous if he drinks coffee because it's acidic. I don't know. All right. What's up, Math? What's up, Moose? Peter, Austin, Scott, Richard, Stocklocker, Investro. What's up, guys? Good morning. So yeah, for me specifically, guys, I'm mostly watching Overstock, AMD, MU, ST&E, and we'll see what else we can find here today. But that's mostly what I'm watching. All right. But yeah, VLRX, I'm looking to see how many of these are actually tradable or not here, guys. And SLCA is, CHGG is, PG, CNX, HLIT is not, but Watt is, WATT. So this one's actually tradable here. But yeah, look at AMD, just making pretty volatile swings here. Went all the way up to 380, 3380, went back down to 3330 now. So AMD making some swings. Same thing with MU, but not nearly as drastic. MU, technically green in pre-market and extended hours. It closed at 4680, and it is currently at 4694. So technically green, but not by much, and it's already given back most of those gains. So for gap downs, we have MDR. It's sweet tea, but it's hot because I used a Keurig machine to make it. It's the only tea we could find in my house because I told my wife, I was like, hey, you need to pick up some tea for me. And she said we have some tea here. And we did, but it's the Keurig tea that you have to heat up. I guess there's probably a way to make it cold, but it's hot, sweet tea. It's actually terrible. But yeah, my neighbor said coffee because it's acidic makes him nauseous sometimes. I really don't think that's what it is, but I'm going to give it a try and see how I feel today. Coffee's actually good for you, though. If coffee's actually good for you if you don't put sugar in it. You know, if you drink coffee, you know, without sugar, then it's actually pretty healthy for you. It keeps your bowels going regularly, and yeah, coffee's actually good for you if you don't have sugar in it. If you put a load of sugar in it and that's the first thing you're drinking every morning, it's like poison, you know. But if you don't drink sugar in it, you're good. And listen, I'm not like anti-sugar. I'm just saying I'm just being real about it. I love ice cream. What's up, Mitch? What's up, bro? I can't hear you, man. Hold on. There you go. There you go. What's up, man? Yeah, man. Sugar, man. It gets me. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to drink sugar. I'm not going to eat sugar. I go get like a thing of ice cream. Cookie two-step, man. Super fire. That's all I'm saying. Dude, it's like, it's cookies and cream mixed with chocolate chip cookie dough. So it's like, it's both. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, man. The chat's having fun with these, with me talking to the chat. Yeah. So what we're looking at now? Let me get Mitch's beautiful face up here. My wife's calling. Hold on. Hold it down, Mitch.
What's up? What's up? What's going on, traders? How we doing? Good morning. Good morning. My boy John got to work. Peace. Deuces, my brother.
It's trash day, guys. I'm out. I gotta go do the trash.
Gotta
Mitch,
go
hold it down,
flex.
man. Yeah, man. Take
Go
the
flex,
trash
brother.
out.
No
Yeah, thanks,
worries.
man.
Go handle it.
Here, let me fix this thing. Hold on.
All right, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. We got Austin in the house. We got Stock Locker, Rashad, Avestro, Peter in the house, Scott, Anthony, TJ, Rich, Gary, Angie. Of course, we got Scott and the math you forgot. And also got Anthony Leclerc. Who else got a cool name? All right, everybody, what's going on? All right, let's go ahead and start putting up top watches. I'm gonna be building up my watch list right here. Let's go ahead and get through some of these stocks. I'm seeing VLRX is the top gapper for the day. Nothing really there, guys. It's kind of a gap up and a pull right back down. Maybe you can keep this one on watch for maybe longs after three. I would keep this one on watch. $3 is going to be pretty strong, but it's going to need momentum again. It already made its move up. It's just holding in pre-market at the support. What's up, Alvaro? What's up, Bill? What's going on, guys? Coffee makes you poo-poo. Can't blame you. All right, let's see what else we got here. CODX on here. CODX on here. Not really my type. I don't really like these under $2 stocks. I'm getting to that point in my time where under $2 is kind of just not in my wheelhouse anymore. I like stocks that are really between $3 and let's say probably about $20. Anything higher really starts getting to the point where I got to watch my share size and watch how I trade it. What's up, Eddie? How we doing, buddy? I'm ready for another day, man. Excited. Got the next 3 days off from work, so I get to enjoy trading and just kind of get to have some fun. I'm gonna go to a Rockies game tomorrow. Let's make it a good week. MDR, I'll check it out. Nice, a nice down gapper. I actually like watching down gappers. Sometimes you get these good hard moves. So in this one, we see a clear resistance in MDR at 7. It's made that 1 up, 2 up, 3 up, and then rejected. And from there, it hasn't come back to the 7. It made a move down, bounced up once, made another move down, bounced up right here to VWAP. Let's see if it's just going to crush down to 6. If not, I'll be watching this one at the open to bounce to 7 and then reject.
You see Overstock?
Overstock, what, OSTK or something?
Yeah.
Oh, good
Yeah.
earnings.
So, yeah, man, I'm gonna have to go do the trash once my wife gets home because I'm locked out of my garage right now. But yeah, Overstock. So
My
yeah,
boy said I'm locked out.
honestly, my wife gave my key to the painter, and he broke our key off in our door, and we had to get a whole new doorknob.
I'm not gonna say the word, but genius.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. But it's all right. But now I don't have a key to my house, so
Yeah, it kind of sucks.
my wife does, but I don't. So I gotta rely on her.
You're
uh,
limited.
right, man. Right, man. I gotta ask her permission. All right. So yeah, Overstock. Let's see here. I think it's earnings, right?
You know what that kind of shows me? It's kind of like trading on Thinkorswim. You can only go long, but you can't go short. You gotta ask them.
Right. Yeah. You gotta request it. You know.
You gotta request it. Not on tests though. We
Right.
we don't gotta worry about that.
And with TEPS, you have your own house key. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
All right. So yeah, Overstock declares dividend of one digital share for every 10 shares held. I guess is what this is going on. They're scheduled to release their financial results on August, but that's not what this is. This is they declared dividend of one digital share for every 10 shares held. And the press release is that Overstock.com, and this is from, I believe, probably MT Newswire is what I'm guessing this is from. This is from. It doesn't say. Anyways, they announced that its board of directors declared a dividend payable in shares of its digital voting Series A1 preferred stock. The record date for the dividend will be September 23rd, 2019, and the distribution date for the dividend will end November 15th, 2019, and will be payable at a ratio of 1 to 10, meaning that for one share of Series A1 will be issued for every 10 shares of common stock. A1 or voting Series B preferred stock held by all holders of such shares as of the record date. So they're releasing dividends basically, and I guess that's making people buy Overstock. So we also have MDR. Did you look up the news for that one yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so MDR is. You know what I should do? I should just tell the chat to copy and paste news stories, and then I pick a random news giver and give them a mug. But I'm not going to do that today. That's just an idea. MDR is down after the second quarter results were poor. So bad second quarter results for MDR. We also have ACST, and if you like penny stocks, VLRX. Those are really the penny stocks that are gapping today. Honestly, VLRX looks like the typical gap fail strategy. These are the type of moves that almost always fail. And I'm not saying this one will, but I'm saying a lot of times these do. A lot of times, what another really nice determining factor for whether a penny stock's actually going to fail after a big gap up or not is just looking at the daily chart. You know, a lot of times these penny stocks are going to have a long-term history of gapping and then failing, and then gapping and then failing, and gapping and failing. What's an example of that, Mitch? What's the one that you always talk about?
CODX right now. I mean, I can just show you that. That's on the
Yeah,
gapper.
great example. So CODX, you can look at the daily chart, and a lot of the time this will happen. You can see the daily chart, just gap, fail, gap, fail. Anytime it makes a significant big gap like that, it fails. Fail here. It gapped up huge from 116 to 370s. Failed exactly right back to where it started in a day. Same thing here. Gap, fail, gap, fail, gap, fail. And so a lot of these will actually have a history of failing. And those are where you can kind of determine. Those are the ones I love. If I can find a put option on those penny stocks after they gap up, I'll just buy that all day. It's actually very rare that I'll find a put option because people understand that and they know most of the time these things are going to fail. But with VLRX specifically, I mean, the daily chart's not that bad for it, but it's not good either. I mean, it's obviously a downward daily stock or daily chart. And this one, the issue is that it never really gaps up big. I mean, it does sometimes. Like you can see it gapped up big here all the way to 11s. And I mean, it's gapped and failed a few times since then, don't get me wrong, but it's not typically the one day in, one day out type of fail that we're looking for some of these penny stocks.
All right, guys. One of the ones that I'm going to be watching big time is going to be AMRN. They released yesterday kind of Armenian announces underwriters full exercise of option to purchase additional American depository shares. So the exercise of this option increased the size of the offering up to 25 million shares. It's kind of you're using options here. So it was supposed to be up to 3 million, but you could increase that size all the way up to 25 million shares. That 25 million shares went through at a public price of $18 per share. If we take a look at where AMRN is, it's right above $18. So of course, we're going to have a huge support here to watch out for. Okay, so the support really is, I think, 17.11 in that area, $17. So when we test today, it's going to be interesting. I either feel we're either going to get a rocket back up to these highs, or we're going to get a real test of these lows before we get that kind of break back up, or we can break the support. Now this stock has been getting a lot of volume on the downside before it makes its bullish runs, and it got a big amount of volume last time
I gotta go
in
take the
the
trash out.
19s.
My bad. I gotta go take the trash out. I'll be right back.
Yeah, go for it. So I'll be watching AMRN as one of my top stocks just because of the catalyst that's attached to it. Hexo, I like Hexo. Don't worry. Hexo, what I would say is the cannabis stocks are all trying to find support right now. I think this is very important. How low are they going to go? I can't really tell you. And another one that I'm looking at is CTST. If you like cannabis stocks that are really getting hit right now, this one got hit with regulation, but I think it's definitely too cheap right now. It's near $2.15, and this is a stock when it opened up on the New York Stock Exchange, it opened up at $9.44. So we're talking about a $7 potential increase, where it came from the IPO. So I'm going to keep an eye on these. I'm thinking about making a little bit of a long portfolio in cannabis as we approach the election year. A good friend of ours in the chat room, Eric, does a couple longs in the kind of the cannabis sector, and he kind of talked about how it's always does well in election years. You know, he's probably going to kill me for letting you guys know on it, but hey, eh, information that's out there. Yeah, ACB has been dropping for weeks. Also, APHA and CGC. Those are common wheat stocks that have been hit pretty hard on the daily chart, reaching daily supports. One that I'm interested in is APHA near 5. The closer we can get to 5, we can risk off that $4, which is kind of right by the low of the stock. The low of this stock is 375. All right, guys, let's take a look at what's going on elsewhere. So I can see a nice rejection there off the SPY. You see the SPY tried to break out over 302.04 multiple times, guys. If you use the 15-minute chart, you're going to be able to see the SPY trying to break above that 32.20s multiple times. Couldn't get above it. Tried to get above 32.02 again and just really couldn't make it back up there. So that's going to be a really key price point to watch now. Um, I want to see if this thing can even get back up above kind of this 300 mark and get to 301. If not, I have a feeling we're going to get a quick run up and then a pull right back down. So I'm going to be watching for stocks to kind of do that same kind of move. Quick green, turn to red. Let's see what happens. That tea has me motivated. Oh, good thing it's not tea, it's that coffee. All right, traders, what else you guys looking at out there? Any stocks you guys want me to take a look at? Go ahead and put it up in the chat. Now's your chance. All right, let's see what else is down gapping here. Oh, big one, big one. We called this one out, guys. We called this one out. The Beyond Meats short. Um, to tell you the truth, guys, I'm kind of kicking myself. The daily chart said it all. Crazy Harmy candle at the top. I really wanted to get a put option in BYND. I should have taken that chance. Definitely had the opportunity to. If you see this daily chart, just completely go parabolic. It made its third run here and really hit a resistance up there near that 240. It got up there to 239.71 when it couldn't make it and it closed that day at 234.90. It just completely opened the next day and didn't have no chance, really giving you that curve effect. And that's really when I like to take kind of daily shorts, is when you see that curve effect on a stock. BYND getting hit hard there, coming down to 186 now. So BYND definitely getting crushed there. JD, JD is definitely on my watch list. One of the best things of JD is kind of I really like this daily chart. One of the key things of JD is that you see it had a huge down moment, of course, at the end of the year last year. It bounced up. It's met resistance multiple times here at 32s and 31.88s above there. It hasn't had the kind of the momentum to get it above 32. So at any moment here, we can make a move towards 30, crack 30, and really make a move back down here to the 29s. So that's what I'm going to be watching for today. Let's see if we can make a push down, get to around like maybe 30 50s, get a VWAP bounce, and a move back down to that $30 range. There's some support there. Austin, you're trying to find some good long plays. I'll go ahead and I'll look up on the scanners and try to find you some good possibilities.
I mean, for longs, I'm kind of looking at some of these gap downs. Like, I think UA will probably bounce at the open. I think MDR might bounce. I think UAA. There's two Under Armours. Why? I got UAA and then UA. They're all Under Armour Inc.
Yeah, UA is the main stock.
Okay, well, I think these might bounce at the open.
What's up with Nike too? Whenever you see Under Armour move, you can watch the other shoe companies.
Damn, look at BYND. And listen, guys, I don't want to say I told you so. But
Well, I'm telling you, we should have took the put option.
I know, but put options would be so expensive on that, and for good reason. That's the only reason. But you'd make so much from them right now. You'd be up.
It depends.
Thousands.
It depends. You would have to have picked what's called a short time frame. If you picked a short time frame, it probably wasn't that expensive. You would have to have picked, like, let's say next week.
5 days,
as the 5-way 1 week option, and then it wouldn't have been that bad because you have time decay against you. Right. So they usually give you a little bit because of that.
Yeah, I mean, the best thing you could do as a short trader, and this is how we kind of knew this, is that you think about what the company actually does, which I know it's kind of crazy to think about that, but you got to think about what the company actually does. And in this case, BYND, while it may be a great company, and I'm sure it is, and I watch Good Mythical Mornings sometimes, and they had an episode where they tried all these different vegan meats, vegetarian meats, and they said they all tasted terrible except for the Beyond Meat one. And so I think they have some valid, but is that still $400 stock? I don't know about that. I think hype got behind it, and some people married it, and now it's
squeezed out. Put it this way, I would love to see it back above 200. Right. I would look for an option.
Yeah, I mean,
I think this one can head to 150, 100.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the daily chart, if it gets back up to like 225 or so, I'd consider it. Mm-hmm. And listen, it may have some support. Yeah. I mean, it got up to its highs are 230s, but yeah, man, I mean,
One of the things that I saw in this stock is that it did a classic move, guys. Let's fluff everybody before we drop.
Right. Hey, let's send out some fluff pieces, man. Let's just pump this
Yeah.
big boy up.
So we're gonna make a connection with Dunkin' Donuts. We're gonna make a connection with this company. We're gonna make a connection with this company.
Right.
But really, guess what, guys? We know our earnings are coming out in
And
less
they're
than a
not good.
week, and they're not good. So we need to pump the stock as much as we can before those
it's
earnings hit.
it's the same thing that companies do whenever they put out a bunch of they put out an offering or something like that, and then they immediately put out some fluff piece news. You know what I mean? They immediately they plan it in that way to try to compensate for the drop that's ultimately gonna happen. You know, they plan it in that way for that reason. You know.
Hey Scott, invite me. I'm coming through.
I'm going to party with college kids and see what they have on campuses. Yeah.
See why they're so obsessed with Beyond Meat?
Hey man, I listen. I've said it before. I respect Beyond Meat. Listen, God knows there needs to be better tasting vegan meats here. Like everybody knows that, and so
Ooh,
that's their
this is
niche, man. That's
one
their
to
niche.
watch, guys. Procter and Gamble. I think their earnings come out also. Let me just take a look. If not,
And
they
everybody
already came
knows
out.
they need some better meat tasting substitutes. But is it a $4? Is it a $400 stock? I don't think so. You know. I think hype got behind it. Same thing with TLRY. Same thing I was saying with TLRY. Back in the day, I had people disagreeing with me too. I had a lot of people disagreeing with me. TLRY used to be like a $200, $300 stock. And during this time, I was very vocal about this thing is way too overpriced. This thing is ridiculously too expensive. And now look at it. You know, and I had people saying, no, Chipotle is $500. Chipotle is $400. And I said, yeah, but this cannabis company is like a little baby. You know, it's a little baby. And it's not going to be the same price as Chipotle. Chipotle has been around for years, you know. I mean, and TLRY might be, but you got to think about what the company actually does, how new to the market it is, and how much hype gets behind these big companies. And I think I'm right more than I'm wrong with some of these, most of these. The one that I mean, and let's see, where's Bitcoin at? I mean, a lot of that math actually has to do with the float. And so it actually depends on the float. How many shares are available to the public because of supply and demand. If less shares are available, you know, each individual share is going to be more expensive. But if there's tons of shares available, if there's a billion shares in the float, then naturally each share is going to be less expensive. And a company, I'll put it this way, a company that is $100 and a company that is $1,000 can have the same market value as each other. There's just different float sizes. PG extremely overbright. Yeah, Procter and Gamble, right?
Yeah, that actually looks strong. I mean, uh, I don't know if I really mess
720.
with that kind of rip out like that. I would definitely keep an eye on it. Uh, it's done
It's up
kind
here
of
now.
a whole range move. It's established the range. The range is going to be from that 118 all the way up there to 120, 170.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
I'd be careful with this one. Huge
the
range and earnings release that beat expectations. And then there's also upgrades that I see here. Upgrade in June by Goldman from 114 to 125, and we're reaching near that area. So I could see maybe a reach to that 125 before we see a retrace. Really,
yeah,
the stock is releasing news about kind of taking a step back from Gillette, and I think that's going to be a good move from Procter and Gamble, trying to give back some of that market share in kind of men's razors and stuff like that. There's a whole bunch of other companies that have come out and kind of taken their competitive advantage away from them. Their competitive advantage away from them was that they had the brand. They had built up the brand Gillette. Almost every man knew about Gillette razors,
the
and now
best a
we've come,
man can get,
yeah,
you know.
and now we've come to the point where there's so many different options. You got so many shave clubs, so
Yeah, you
many
got the Shave Club.
subscription clubs. Um, there's multiple. There's Harry. There's Beards ones. There's so many different groups now that are coming out with different options for you, and a lot of them are cheaper than the Gillette version. And so if it's cheaper, the competitive advantage gets taken away from them. They also get delivered to your house. There
Yep.
you go, another competitive advantage away from them. That you have to go to the store to get the Gillette razors, and now you're going to be able, you could just sit at your house and receive your razors.
Right.
So
I
they're
mean,
being smart. They're pulling back from there, and then also it's just trying to kind of taking that investment and they're going to push it elsewhere. And we know Procter and Gamble usually succeeds because they have such consumer grasp. They understand what we buy, what we want, and they make good moves towards it.
yeah. So, and if you look at the daily chart for P&G, it actually looks it's a really strong daily chart. I think it'll probably pull back some, but I mean the daily chart looks pretty strong if you look at it. It never really had any big drops. It's just kind of a steady grind up for P&G. Um, and yeah, I mean, it's up to 120 now. I think it'll probably pull back some, but it looks strong in the daily chart.
Yeah. No,
Gillette
it just
razors.
shows you. Uh,
Gillette razors aren't even that great. Yeah, I mean, I don't even use actual razors. Like when I shave, I use like a electric razor. I don't. Anytime I let my beard grow, it grows too long to then use a regular razor. That's just too much. It's gonna hurt me. I'd rather
okay,
just use electric.
guys. UA, I'm gonna look for a bounce up there to $22. That's the resistance in this stock. It's already gone through the support, which was 21. It made a move down all the way down to that $20 mark. I think this needs to bounce at least a little bit before you try to short it. The area I can see it coming back up to would be that $22. And then after that $22, it's going to run into another resistance that was a prior support. And I could see it coming right back down. That's what I'll be watching. That's the kind of
Yeah,
move I'll be looking for in UA.
I'm pretty sure this thing's gonna bounce at the open. I mean, it's a legitimate company and it's a huge gap down, and so because of that, I think it'll at least bounce up to 21, and then it may come back
Yep.
down. I don't know what this is what happens a lot whenever you get drastic gap downs like this. Most of the time, just from psychological thinking, you're going to get a bounce at the open just from traders saying, well, this is down so much, I'm just going to buy it and go long at the open. Or a lot of short traders are covering their positions, and that's going to consequently make it bounce. And so that's what's going to happen a lot with these big gap downs. I'm not saying it will happen with this one. There's outliers, but most of the time they bounce at least somewhat right at the open.
All right.
LK. Gonna be watching LK too. It had a pretty strong day. Look at that triangle. This is one of the most obvious triangles. Look at LK, Mitch, on a 1 minute chart, and then look at up to 11:30 your time on the market. Look at that thing, man. Look at that triangle, flag pattern. Really. Look at this. One of the more obvious flag patterns I've seen in a while.
Yeah, one of the big things with the LK is kind of use that hourly chart and you see that it's been running since about the 22nd.
Yeah, for sure.
The 22nd is when it started ramping some volume. And so I think this one has still a little bit more to give. I think it could pull back to maybe this like 25, 26 area today. But after that, it's still really strong. I would have to see it break 25 for me to think that this is going to get weak again and come back down to the lows. And when you actually see this stock, it's actually past its IPO price. And when stocks pass their IPO price afterwards, this could have been really kind of a collection of volume here at the bottom of investors. And now that we've gotten that wave of investors, it's trying to, do that breakout wave. So, really be careful with this one. Especially with IPOs, you don't want to always try to be shorting on the days that it's trying to break out. Those are the times where you can get squeezed very, very strongly in this stock. This stock does have a range of about $1 per day. And so, with that being said, if you are trading LK, I would be careful and I would be more watching this on the bullish side than the short side until it breaks kind of key important price points. The reason I'm watching 25 is that that's kind of like the high of the opening day. The opening day was 25.96, the high, and it closed and opened at $25. So that's why that $25 is going to be such an important price point to watch.
Somebody's asking me, John, do I think VLRX is going to fade? I don't know whether I don't think it'll actually fade. It might specifically fade, but I think it's probably going to drop. Uh, and when I mean fade, I mean VWAP fade. Do I think it's going to fade off of the VWAP at the open? It could, but I think it's probably going to drop. The only issue with me even saying it might drop is the long term chart. I mean, it has a solid amount of support at 250, and it's gapping up to 280. It's got a pretty big range down here, but again, I mean, I think most of the time they fail. This one doesn't look as good on the daily chart as a lot of these other penny stocks, like what was the one? One of the ones Mitch mentioned earlier that you see just fail over and over and over again.
Oh, CODX.
Yeah, CODX. Like if you look at CODX and you look at the daily chart on this one, it's just different. This one spikes and fails constantly. Every time CODX gaps up, it ends up consequently failing and coming right back down to the levels. And so because of that, if CODX gapped up, I'd be trying to buy put options. With VLRX, it just doesn't necessarily look like that. And it has some spikes and then some fails, but a lot of times this one will spike, and then I don't know what it does during that day, but it'll take a day or two for it to come back down instead of just dropping the same day. And so I still think it'll probably fill that gap and come back down some, at least drop some, but it also could spike up. It's not one of the ones where I'm as confident in this one. All right, so we got 5 minutes left, guys. Let me get this ready. And so yeah, yesterday was actually a red day after commissions, but you guys could see I ended up salvaging it. I mean, before I was down like 80 something dollars plus commission, so it was almost certainly a 100 plus loss yesterday, and I kind of grinded my way back, and I think I lost $10 in net profit yesterday, so $10 loss. So that's completely acceptable for me. Of course, it's not a green day, but I did salvage, you know, a big losing day. So
Yeah, the important part is always just trading the system. I think um, if you're a trader that can continuously trade the system, rinse in, rinse out, just continuously get that kind of same trade going, there's nothing wrong with uh, trading and trading more often, and trying to get to your profit, because what you're doing is you're at least setting yourself up every trade. And I think that's what John was able to do yesterday. And, even though he didn't have all his trades win, he still was able to just stick to the system. And that brought him right back to break even.
right, yeah, it was actually half of my. I had 3 green trades and 3 red trades, but so I had 50% accuracy yesterday, exactly 50% accuracy, but I was still able to profit in gross profits at least because I had good risk reward with the trades I was getting into. My losses were smaller than my winners, and so yeah. And after net profits and trading, I ended down, but I had a lot of work if I wanted to actually get net green on the day. But yeah, even though I was only 50% accurate yesterday, I still left it up in gross profits.
Okay, a strong stock that I'm going to be watching is Grub. Uh, Grub is all the way back there, 79. It made a quick run at the close yesterday, up there to 80s. Um, if this stock can hold, I think above. Let's take a look here.
Yeah, welcome
If
back,
it can
Nick.
hold above 76, I won't be looking for a short. But if this can just crack down here, start making a hard move down through the 76 or 77 price points, I'll be watching this one to knock it down.
Which one?
Grub, the one
Mm.
that I traded yesterday.
Yeah, I
Uh,
traded that one a bunch too. It was super rangy, and you could see like I have the range drawn right here, and it stayed in that range all morning and all day really. That range between 75 and 50, it just stayed in that 25-cent range all day, or maybe it was 75. Yeah, so it was $1.25 range, but it stayed in that range all day. Let's see what else. FEYE. AMD looking weak now. I mean, AMD's been really volatile this morning. Same thing with MU, but AMD up to 33.80s, back down to 33.15. I'll try to look up the news really quick for this one actually because something's going on with it. I'm guessing earnings. Yeah, second quarter results are due after the close today. And stock option traders aren't expecting fireworks after earnings reports.
who would go to this press release? The website's called Guru Focus. It's
For who?
like, can I lie to you a little bit more?
For who?
It's just like a website, like a promotion that Finance Yahoo has. That's why you can get fooled. You guys got to look at who really puts the press out. This article appeared on Guru Focus.
All right, guys, we got 15 seconds. Sophia has said, John, what happens if I am in a stock and it fell below the dollar and it was pulled from the NAS? So you mean it
If
was taken
so,
out of? It was
that's
taken out of.
some
There's the
bad
bell.
news.
Yeah, if it was taken out of the if it was taken off the exchange, you're kind of SOL.
Yeah,
Um,
that's the word for it.
yeah, yeah. Sorry to hear that. That's rough. I mean, it happens. It's one of the reasons I don't trade penny stocks because you never know when that's going to happen. You never know when a stock's going to get halted and never resume. You know what I mean? All right, so we're getting some drops for LK at the open. AMD dropping. MU, look at MU tank you.
Ooh, grubby grub. Look at that move on grub.
But yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Sophia. That's rough. I didn't mean to make light of it. I know it's probably a tough situation, but
Yeah.
yeah.
It's one of those things that has happened before. I had a friend that had a lot of money in, I think it was not Tilly's, but PacSun. Remember that company?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember PacSun.
my
It's
friend
still
thought
out
he
here.
was, my friend was trying to be a genius and buy it up when it was going bankrupt.
Oh, that's dumb. I mean, it's still around, but Pac.
The company's actually been bought out though.
Yeah.
It's off the stock market.
Yeah, it's completely different. PacSun actually used to be a cool place because I grew up in the early 2000s. And so PacSun used to have like Mario t-shirts and like Zelda t-shirts and video game stuff and skateboarder stuff. Now it's like preppy stuff. So something changed. But a little advice for anybody trying to invest in any type of clothing company: fads change constantly. You know, American Eagle was big 10 years ago or 15 years ago. Now, I mean, it's not dead, but not many people are shopping there. Same thing with Abercrombie and Fitch. You know, fads change, styles change. If you're going to long term invest in a clothing company, it better be something like Polo, you know, which has been around for 40 years.
SPY heading down to support, guys. SPY not looking back from that 300. We'll be looking to short some stocks here. Right now, MU looking good for a bounce to 46.74. AMD, I'll look for a VWAP reject.
I'm looking at a MU. Yeah, AMD, I wouldn't mind it either. But for a reject, I want to see it come down to 33.15 first.
One that looks interesting. I need to check the daily, but yeah, HTZ looks interesting.
AMRN with a 4-cent risk doesn't look bad.
Yeah, my problem with AMRN is I like that stock. It's a 10-cent, 5-cent risk. It's not the worst trade, but can get up there to that 825 real quickly.
Yep.
CGC maybe.
CGC. I haven't traded that one in a while. ST&E's running. Not enough volume with the cannabis stocks lately. I haven't been attacking them that much just because the volume's been kind of light. MU and AMD though, I mean, solid volume.
Thinking EMPH here, but it's not really a VWAP fade, and the VWAP's below it. I don't really like it like that, especially so close to a whole dollar. We talk about whole dollars all the time. You got to be careful with them. A lot of people just buy them up really quickly. They just
Oh
sweep
yeah.
them up.
I mean, whole dollar. The only way to trade those is so you can trade the breakdown of a whole dollar, but you better be getting in at like 70, 65, 70, and give yourself some room and take profits at the whole dollar, and then try to ride the breakdown. If you're trading long on the whole dollar specifically, then you want to be especially careful, and you want to just scalp that move most of the time. At least that's what I
All
would
right. Looking
do. MU,
for Kron here. Kron. Let's see if it bounces here. I'm putting an order out there at 1385 right now. Let's
I'm
see if
looking
we
at
get a bounce here.
I'm looking at MU with a risk level of 80.
Yeah, I like MU.
Start your recorder, Mitch.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I didn't start mine either. But yeah. All right, there's MU up to 64. All right, oh, terrible fill. I tried to jump in at 65. I got filled at 57. Worst fill. Oh, I'll ride it, but not my fill, unfortunately. I'll try to let it work, but not my fill.
I don't think it's the best. I don't think it's the worst trade. I like it. I would take it.
Right now, I'm just considering adding to it. Is the only thing. Like, do I want to add to it? I don't know. Probably not.
I would wait for this candle to close if you want to do that. Let it create a high first.
Yeah, I'm gonna let it test 80, which is my risk.
Yeah. And then if you see it close there, then I don't disagree, because then now you at least have a high, a clear defined high.
Right. Yeah, I've been trading small my first few trades because I know I typically get into those ones where I'll scale into them a little bit more later on, and so I'm just trying to take it slow where I know I have a little bit worse accuracy at the open, and so I'm buying 100 shares. All right, we're getting close here. I'll let it test my risk, but getting close. Very close to exiting. All right, so it tested it and got rejected, which is why I let it test, but all right, I'm out. I think broke too much. Maybe I let it run a little bit too much, but $30
Looks like
loss.
AMRN wasn't a bad move.
Yeah, there it goes. AMRN has pretty low volume as well. That's the only issue with.
Yeah, I'm not really seeing pretty moves. So the only one that looked nice is the one that you took, John. So no stress.
Yeah, I mean it squeezed up. MU, I really like AMD more than MU, and I kind of just started trading MU. But the only way, like if MU gets rejected and comes back down to the VWAP, I'll consider it again. But again, I mean I've been trading a little bit smaller at the open, and so a $30 loss is very manageable. I was talking about it this morning. I'm trying to like at this point, I want my preferred gain to be around 300 and my max loss to be 150. I think that's what I have to do because I've been stagnant. I've been profitable, but I've been stagnant around, $300-400 in profit for a while. So I just want to be able to fully break past that level in green profit. So, but yeah, MU now looks like a red to green move. What did Under Armour look like? What did it end up doing? Well, we did get a bounce at the open, but it didn't hold. Let's see where it opened. 84. Yeah, it bounced up to 90. It bounced up to 23.20, so it bounced up 40 or 50 cents, but then it ended up flushing. Red to green move on CGC, maybe?
Not on getting up there.
Ride the gap in which one? VLRX? I mean, it's up to you, man. Like I said, I don't VLRX, it's just a little bit different. It's not one of those ones that I feel super confident in it going either way. To be real about it,
Uh,
AMD maybe for a bounce play.
a little upset. I canceled my order on Craw, I had an order out at 1380. Should have just left it. It took my eye off it for a second. It came back really quickly to that 1380. Would have already gotten filled.
I kind of want to get in a AMD here for a bounce, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait until I see my other pattern because I think if you look at my trading lately, most of my losses have come right at the open, and then if I wait a little while, my trading starts to get a little bit better.
Yeah. I gotta let Cron go. I already missed the entry.
Yeah, AMRN doesn't look bad now. Uh, and another thing I've been noticing is that, and this is something that people should understand about the VWAP fade in general, is that in the end it typically has solid accuracy. And so one thing I've been doing is I've been a little bit more active trading, 5 or 6 times a day, and typically at the end of the day I'll have a green day because the accuracy and the risk reward compensate for any small time swings. Yeah, ENPH doesn't look bad if it can get up to 93. Maybe a reject on AMD. I know you mentioned that one earlier.
Mm-hmm.
That one doesn't look bad if it pops up there, but it just depends on what MU does as well. I know they're kind of competing, but
I actually like that idea, brother.
what AMD?
Yeah.
It was your idea. I mean,
No,
you
but I'm
mentioned
just
it
saying.
earlier.
It's
Yeah,
just also because it kind of matches what the spy is doing better, I think. A fake out. It faked out short on the spy. It faked out long on AMD. So I'm looking for more reversals. Uh,
yeah,
and that's what I'm looking for. Reversal for this would be, try to go long, up one, up two, down two, right here, try to break out, and then just get knocked right back down.
yeah. If I can get a 38 entry, I'll risk off of like 42, so like a 5 cent
Yeah.
risk, 43.
Yeah, I'm trying to get in the 40s so I could risk off of that 52.
All right, I like that one.
If it gets to the 40 or above, I can take it and risk off of that 52. If it just flushes here, you just can't do nothing about it because that's not a pattern.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you could try to write it down to the bottom, but that's not what we do. I mean,
Yeah, that's a
you got to wait
scalp
for it.
and no
Yeah.
pattern in there. That's just price action. And when we talk about this in our level 2 in time and sales class, is that you want to have multiple things working for you. You can't just go off of one.
Right.
You should have pattern, you should have price action, and you should also
Macro
see
chart.
the volume kind
Right.
of supporting it.
ENPH here, up to the VWAP again. It's just about where's my risk and where's my reward. My risk could maybe be 21. So a 12, 10, 12 cent risk, and then a reward level of 70. So maybe a 20 cent reward, but it's kind of a stretch. What? All right, hold on, guys. I'm gonna go run
What's
and
up?
help my wife do this. I'll be right back.
Yeah, go ahead. Kron squeezing up there, now up there in the 90s. Ugh. All right, guys, just hanging in the fight right now.
All right. Let's see. So yeah, ENPH not terrible. AMD just flushing here, just looking super weak. AMRN maybe is what I'm looking at. AMRN doesn't look terrible here. Small range though. I'd have to risk off of 13 entry of
Yeah, I'm
7.
being patient today. I have this feeling that it's gonna be smarter for me to just kind of hold back right now. I'm not seeing clean moves. Uh, and even like EMPH, it's just too much of a reversal if it goes through that $21. It could easily be up there at 21.20s, and then you are risking 30 cents for a 20-cent trade. I'm not gonna do that anytime.
There goes ENPH. That was the one I was solid interested in. It just rebounded, but we'll see. AMRN kind of looks solid here. I might
What
take it.
EMPH?
Yeah, man. ENPH looks
Uh,
solid.
nah, it's a bullish sign though.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
that's my it's not below VWAP. It never broke support.
right.
That's why I'm keeping myself out of this. I want to. Don't get me wrong. It's like one of those enticing ones, but this is really a long pattern that's holding and trying to break out above 21. If it gets rejected, then that's fine. That's where that kind of that share size is going in right now. 2090s, you got 5,000 shares, 8,000 shares to go through there at 2090,
Yeah,
and they were consecutive.
when I said it looked good, it was when it was down at 82. So since then, this doesn't look good at all.
Yeah,
This
it looks like it
94
could
move.
just push through 21, and if it does, I would at least let it test here. If you get this rejection and you see the time and sales keep rejecting off of that 90s, that can show you something. But when a stock doesn't go too much below the support at the open and then kind of just hangs at VWAP, those are, I think, the most scariest VWAP trades because you don't know where it's heading.
Right.
Um, the support here is only 75. And yeah, you could say, okay, so that's 15 cents down. All right. But where's the push up? The push up is 10 cents immediately. And if that gets bought up, it's 20 cents. There's not much volume there at 21. So you see, we just got to push towards 21 and it rejected. So now you need to see volume come in and knock it back down. And then you can try to catch it at VWAP again. I think that's a better way to take this one. But that's just because also the daily chart, you know, isn't the greatest, but it has a lot of support underneath it at 20.
Look at Y and DX fading. That one looks solid. AMRN's up to the levels that I was looking for. If I did this, it would be like a 13 risk though, and so my risk would be like 5 cents. And so I would need at least 10 or 12 cent reward, which I probably could get, but it'd be close and the range is small. I just don't know if I'm gonna take that one.
Yeah, I would say AMRN would probably be a better looking fade than EMPH. What do you say?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. ENPH, the biggest problem with it is the volume. And so the volume's super low with ENPH, not nearly as good. And so it's going to spike up a lot more. But AMRN doesn't look bad. I'm still going to wait for, like I said, I'm going to wait for some of those, my bread and butter type of fades where it gets in that range, puts in the high, pivots back down. That's what I'm looking for today. So we'll see what we get.
All right, we got kind of what we call a pennant here on MU. MU's been creating a pennant here. It's already done a 1 up, 2 up, 3 up. I want to see if it's going to hold 47 here, or if it's going to crack 47 hard here.
Why did MDR move here? Let's look at MDR. SPY's up. MDR is just in that range of the gap, or not in the range of the gap, but MDR is just pulling a red to green move. It looks like a faked out fade. I don't know what you would want to call that. With AMRN, it just depends how it acted yesterday. It's been in a little downtrend lately for AMRN.
One that doesn't look the worst is HTZ. HTZ.
I appreciate the sub today as well. There goes AMRN. Maybe I should have taken it. Honestly, the biggest issue is the risk reward in that one.
All right, want to see what happens to MU right here. It's going to try to break out above this 47.20. Let's see if it gets enough volume to buy it through. Or rejects right here.
There it
13,000
goes.
shares going through at 47.04 for MU.
There goes AMRN. I mean, it'd only be like a 6 or 7 cent gain. SSNC maybe?
There's a push 3 of resistance there in MU. Let's see if it breaks out or if it's going to hold this high. Cannabis stocks all looking like a VWAP bounce play, but I'd be careful with those. Those are trying to bounce back with really weak dailies.
Yeah, kind of a slow day right now.
Yeah, that's one being I could see that. I don't know if you can. It's kind of clear that it's kind of trapping. It's a trap day at the beginning. And so with that, I'm being careful. I've made the decision to reduce share size even on the first trade. We're not going to risk more than about $50 on this first trade so that we can go ahead and try to start nailing the trend. Because if we can nail the trend down, then more than likely, even if we take, let's say, 2 or 3 trades, we should probably be in the green. And that's what I'm trying to read right now.
Yep. I'm looking at AMRN considering it here. It put in the high, came back down, and now it's back bouncing back up to test the VWAP. And so starting to consider AMRN a little bit closer here. AMD is another one I'm looking at as well. It just depends though. We'll see. Because at this point I could risk off of 13 and AMRN as well. It just depends on how it acts here. I just think it has a lot of resistance above it. SSNC is another one I'm kind of looking at. Maybe it's too late. I don't know why I'm hesitating this morning, but I am.
It's all good, bro. Just take a deep breath, focus on what you want to see, what you're looking for, and nail it. You got this.
Yeah, there goes the drop on AMRN. YUMC's up to the VWAP.
Yeah, I like MU to short now. I'm just looking for a good entry here. I want to see it bounce back near 10, and then I'm going to short here, guys. See the price action. Let's see if I can get a good entry here.
All right, I'm in AMRN here just with 100 shares. I want to take it, but I'm just going to risk off of that 13 level that I talked about. Maybe look to add another 100 or so. Like I said, my max loss is now going to be 150. And so I still got some room on that, and I just want to look for the better setups. I know my accuracy has been much better later on in the day, and so that's the biggest thing that I have to focus on is not using all of my max loss early.
I got the right price action in MU. I just wasn't able to jump on those 46.10s. I'm trying to get back there to 47.10, 47.10. That's what it should be. Not 46.10.
All right, there's fives. May add another 100 here and try to get into a little bit bigger. I think I need some bigger sizing with AMRN because the range is so small.
All right, guys, looking at HTZ.
There's threes. Yeah, at this point, I'm just looking to take advantage of the range. So the range in AMRN would be down to like 95 or so. We'll see.
All right, trying to let this candle close. If not, I'm going to go short right here in HTZ. If it doesn't get above this high, 67, and I'll be risking off of 1570. Should be a less than 10-cent risk for a 15-cent reward. Smaller range trade, but I can see it working out here. It's made it up 1, up 2, down 2, up 3, created a high here at 1567. We have another resistance right above it at 1573. Looking for this candle to close.
What's the other one I was watching? ST&E and Watt. Look at ST&E. I might start to watch that one too. That one gapped up and then flushed all the way back down. So if ST&E can get up to 36, I could risk off of 60, but it would have to be a little bit smaller size because the range is pretty big. All right, so AMRN is kind of sitting in this range here. This is the range that it's sitting in. If you extend it to the left.
That MU top. That thing topped out. Never bounced back for me, though. Never gave me a chance to come back in it. Now it's kind of more of a VWAP fade, VWAP bounce look, and can't take that there.
Yeah, don't stress it. I mean, miss is going to happen.
No, I mean, I was trying to read the price action. One of the things that I put a course out in, and it was there. It was just really fast. And so with that, I didn't react at that 47.10. I just got to let it go.
Look at SSNC for a fade. SSNC. Recent mover today. Huge range, though. So I don't know what kind of size I would have to take with that one, but not a bad looking fade there. A little bit too late maybe now, but doesn't look bad. We'll see what AMRN gives me here. It's just such a small share size that I'm in it with. That I'm just going to be patient with it and see if we can, break lows down under 17.95 is the goal. Thinking about adding to it here, but
all right, guys, I'm in HTZ here. Risk is 73.
There goes SSNC fading.
All right, got a little confirmation there. Gonna look for a bounce here at 65, 68. I can add a little bit and try to knock this trade down here.
Here's 05. So I could probably add another 100 shares to AMRN as well. That's kind of what I'm looking at. Another one I'm looking at is SSNC. It's just a huge range here. That's the only issue with it, that for me at least.
I'm in HTZ, guys.
No, I haven't actually gotten a withdrawal from them. I should be. I'm trying to build up enough profit too. But one of our members did, Casey, one of our old members, and what he said is that he put the request in for the withdrawal on the 9th of the month and received his payout on the 19th. And so from what he said, it took 9 days, which is pretty quick. I mean, I can't really expect them, especially considering they're overseas, to do it faster than that. So from what he said, it was pretty flawless. No issues there on his end. So, but I've never personally tried it. SSNC is another one I'm looking at. If SSNC can come up to 48.06, I may risk off of 31. Yeah, and if you want to check that out, so TradeNet actually has a sale for the next 2 days where you can get the intro package for $375. And so until the end of this month, after tomorrow, it goes back to its regular price. So if you want to take advantage of the TradeNet sale, there's the link. Like I said, you get the intro package for $375, and if you really think about it, the max loss is $700, so it's almost twice as much. It's very similar to a prop firm. There's a lot of benefits. It comes with the trading course, chat room, demo account, plus the funded account, and there's no PDT rule on their funded account. Their base package comes with $14K in buying power. Again, there's no PDT rule. You can actually short anything that's tradable. And so there's a lot of benefits to using them. Go check them out. There's the link if you want to help support our channel. Yeah, I'm looking at a STNE or SSNC. The range is just huge here. I got to think about what I really want to do. And it's already extended on the downside. That's the biggest issue with this one.
Kind of a sleepy trade for me. Hasn't moved a penny.
Yeah, my AMRN has been in the same range for I don't know how long. I actually like HTZ. If it comes back down to the bottom of the range at 1560, I might jump into it.
Yeah, I don't think it's the worst trade. At least I can look back upon it and be like, well, it was at least a pattern there. Daily chart supported it. I saw some price action reject there at 70 and 67, and that's why I got short. I wanted to get 67, and it filled me at 65, but that's how it is. Now can only risk 8 cents. Really don't even want to see it at 71, but willing to risk to 72. So 7 cents there.
Yeah, 45-cent risk. I'm trying to see what SSNC is going to give me. 45-cent risk. I would have to take 50 shares, I think, to be comfortable in this one. All right, I'm in SSNC here as well with 50 shares. And I'm looking for a much larger move down here with SSNC. These are the type of trades that I attack often with these. And so I'm only in it with 50 shares. Very small share size. And I'm just looking for a little bit of a flush back down to the bottom at 47.50 for me to take it for a quick scalp. That's all I'm looking for.
All right, guys, got to be careful here. I'm getting a little squeeze up to 570s. If I see any big size fill here, I'm just going to step out.
There's 12s, 50s.
Shouldn't get above 70 here. If it does, you got to step out. You don't want to get squeezed in a stock that has low volume.
Yep.
You definitely don't want to risk that because they could take so much of the shares that the next price could be 5 cents, 10 cents away from you.
All right, I scalped SSNC for a really small trade. I'm out of it. I figured it's probably going to bounce here. I maybe jump back into it with the scalp, but that's all I was trying to do. Still holding AMRN.
All right, pushing up there. HCZ looking like she wants to just squeeze me out right here.
Yeah, I can use all of that, Brennan. I can use all of the buy. That's my buying power. So I have the pro package, and so I have 240,000 in buying power to trade with. This account cost me $9,000 though. But their base package is $400, $375 if you go through my link, and that comes with 14K in buying power. And from what I understand, you can use all of it.
All right, guys. If I see anything fill right here, I'm just gonna step out. See, that's the squeeze that I was worried about there, guys. Lost a little bit more than I was supposed to lose. Why? Low volume. But that's what happens when you get squeezed with low volume. You get the level 2 to change on you. And it went quickly there from 70 to 75. So I lost 5 cents more. It's not a big issue because it's only $50 loss. And that's kind of where we've been wanting to keep our losses. But it just clearly shows that, hey, it's not the day for it. There should be a no trade kind of day. There's nothing there, nothing been out there. Everything's been faking out. And this is when you need to conserve capital, not spend it.
Yep.
This is when you can easily waste your money. You know, I don't think in a lot of trading, there's times to waste money. And this is a time where people go and just start like throwing money out there, trying to be right versus waiting for the moment to actually show up.
Yeah, for sure. It's one of those. It's the hardest thing to do as a trader, I think, is to is to hang it up. But you played it right. You played it small, you know, and
Yeah,
especially
I'm
for
glad
you,
I
you've been
played it
pulling in.
small.
Yeah, you've been pulling in $100, $200 gains, and so $50 is probably the right sizing to take with that one and the right risk for you, for
Yeah,
especially for today. I'm looking at ST and E, and I'm still looking at SSNC here. Still holding AMRN, but the range is so small on that one. I'm just gonna try to let it work and hold the rest break even. But ST and E, if this pulls up to the VWAP here at 36.25, I'll consider it with a risk of 37, and so my risk would be about 75 cents. But my reward, maybe not. That's a little bit too big of a risk, I think. So maybe actually, let me see what the chart tells me. Maybe actually 60. And so my risk is 35 cents. So that's reasonable, I think. But it's got to get up there, which is a big if. All right, AMRN down to 98 here. We'll see if it comes back down to the bottom of the range. That's all I'm really trying to do. Yeah, I'm trading pretty small today, too. MU, I don't know what it is. MU, this is the second day in a row I've taken a larger loss on MU first thing, and then I've had a few small wins. And so what this is telling me is that I need to do the opposite of what I actually did today, which is trade really small at the open, and then once I see the moves that I actually like, then I can take bigger swings. But until then,
agree. Especially in days that are in between, you're seeing indecision.
yep. Look at MU for the rejection though. Speaking of MU,
I still don't like it. I'm
for a
telling you,
rejection,
I
I
still
like
don't
it.
like it.
I like it for a rejection because it's right around the previous day's closing price, and that level should hold as a solid risk at 80, and it's right under that now at 46.80 is the previous day's close, and so 46.80, I think that's a solid risk level, or not a risk level, a solid resistance level that it may get rejected at.
Yeah, it's not really the trade that you're supposed to take, but you know, probably hindsight 2020. That short at MU for that breakdown of that long pattern at 47.20. That would have been the trade of the day. But now we're at this point where there's really not much going on. I don't really see much. I might just call it a day and keep my $150 that I'm up on the week.
Yeah, man, that's the right thing to do a lot of the time. I
Yeah.
think you did well yesterday with that, just hanging it up after a solid green day. So
Yeah, it was a solid win, and I didn't really see anything. And then I hesitated to take the trade that would have got me in the second win. And whenever I hesitate, I've learned that just pull the plug. Come back tomorrow. There's days where I don't hesitate at all, and I nail trades. Just straight up nail them, and that should teach you guys something. You can straight up nail them also, but you have to know when you're on fire, when you're in the zone, when you can actually bring sizing into your trade and it not affect you in a negative way. You know,
right,
if you first trade of the day you take a hit, it's probably not the day to size up and try to just take another swing. If you're seeing fake outs a lot of the times in multiple charts, probably not the day to take the swings.
right,
If we're seeing the SPY kind of do full range moves where the SPY all pre-market was going down, down, down from 301 all the way down to 300. But once the open happened, we're not going down anymore. All we've been doing is going up, 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 working to resistance. And so that's just a full range move from the top to the bottom. And then from the bottom now working its way to the top. And those are the hardest moves to read because the SPY is actually causing stocks to go from the full range up to the full range down. You see that in MU, you see it in AMD, you see it in AMAT. Let's take a look at some of the bigger stocks. Uh, you see a full range move on Facebook, looks red, but fully looking green since the open. Stocks like that are deciding the market right now. Uh,
yeah. There's the link. There's the link if you want to check out TradeNet. So I am in ST&E with 25 shares.
Yo, broke boy. No stress, brother. You didn't hear no financial freedom after that, did you? Though.
Do you want financial freedom? Do you want to make $7 billion in 1 week? Buy
And
my
if
trading course.
I mean, if you don't feel like it, nail them. Look at yesterday's video.
Nah, he's messing with you about what you said yesterday. Joking with you about the financial freedom thing. Yeah, he's just
Just
messing with
take
you.
a look.
Not trading CGC? No, I'm not trading it. Not yet, at least. Ah, there goes SSNC. I was looking at that one. Yeah, CGC. I mean, cannabis stocks. They're moving a little bit today, but not, not my favorite right now. MU's fading or rejecting. Yeah, you just see me taking some little base hits today.
Yeah, no stress, nothing there. I'm trying to save my capital.
But yeah, guys, do you want to make $7 billion in 2 days? Buy my trading course. It's called Buy the Dip. You know, going on sale right now for $47,673.
It's like, you want to know what a clear day today is? Look at the stock JD. This is the kind of day that we're having.
Look at SSNC. I really wanted that one too. At least I'm in ST&E with 25 shares, and I'm up a little bit with that one too. But man,
Day off and it's boring.
yeah, man. I'm just hanging out. We got some options. I mean, we got some moves. Some fades and rejections are working well for me. I'm seeing some solid rejections. MU just did the VWAP rejection. ST&E faded a little bit here. SSNC, it looked solid. ENPH might pull a VWAP bounce here. It actually looks pretty solid for a VWAP bounce there.
As he said, buy the dip.
Buy the dip. Right.
Oh God, I still remember that day. That day I saw a trader go try to get a delivery order and lose $200.
Oh, don't say names. Don't say names.
Nah, I'm just talking a story. If you know it, then that's good luck for you.
Don't say names.
Nah, I
I know
never
who you're
say
talking about.
names. I don't have to. The story itself is funny enough. Never leave your trading desk to go get a delivery order. I can at least tell you that one. Chinese is at the door. Be careful. That Chinese could get expensive really quickly.
Yeah.
You might have ordered off the value meal, but you're about to lose all that value.
I'm looking at SSNC here. We'll see if this one squeezes up. I'm also in ST&E, which I don't know how I feel about this one now. I mean, I'm not green or red in any of it, but the only thing I'm considering is should I add here? My risk is way up here, and so I got in early, and it actually faded back down. Same thing with SSNC. What did AMD end up doing? But yeah, the trading world, guys, is just full of nonsense. Like, the new trader has to navigate through so much BS in the trading world that the odds are just stacked against him or her. The odds are just stacked against him. And the reason is because nobody's telling the truth. Nobody is telling the truth. Everybody is just selling nonsense. And, like, regardless of what people want to say about us, they can criticize us, but at least we're giving away stuff for free. If you consider it nonsense, at least we're giving away nonsense for free. And we're not charging people. Starting to think about adding to this one on ST&E.
It's an ugly day for me. I don't see anything.
YADX was a solid fade. YUMC's right up there too. And then SSNC here is in that range. But it's just been such a big gap down. That's the only issue I have with SSNC is just the size of this gap down and the extension on it probably now. Yeah, look at that gap down. I don't wanna risk shorting that thing right now. I completely forgot about AMRN. What's that one doing? Oh, there it is. I'm still holding it.
She did her job.
Yeah, I mean, she's at the bottom of the range. That's all I really can expect from her, though. I was like, what? Why did my P&L drop so much? AMRN bounced. Great, AMRN. Thank you for that. SSNC doesn't look bad. The only reason I'm hesitant to get in SSNC is because this huge monstrous gap down. I think it'll probably come back down to the bottom of the range, but the gap down's so big that I don't know if I want to toy with that, man. It just looks a little shady.
I was thinking about taking a long here in MGM, but the problem with me is that there's no big buyer. It's a bunch of algorithmic volume. And you guys know how I hate the 100 shares buys. I don't think those things do anything to stocks.
They don't.
And so it's kind of like that. I would have to strictly go off a pattern, and that today's not the day to do that.
SPY bouncing off the VWAP. AMD pulling back to the VWAP 2 here. Alright. So yeah, AMD's back up there. We're getting a nice little rebound here for AMD. Just where do I want to set my risk? I can set my risk at probably 30. If I get in at 22, 23.
MGM looking strong, but still nothing but 100 volume. So not going to get in the stock. I like the daily chart because it did have good earnings. It could just start ripping up. If it gets above yesterday's high, 58, 60, it could really start getting a lift. But I'm just going to let it go. I'm not seeing the volume that I need to see in it for me to trade it. So instead of trying to force a trade, let it go, conserve capital. I think today's really a day that I'm just going to stress conserving capital, especially with no clear-cut moves.
Yep. AMD, we'll see if that one was an entry. AMRN squeezing up. Probably got to get out of this one, bail out of it. I gave it the chance, and I mean, it came back down to the top of the range, but it's just too small of a range. I don't want to actually lose money on this one, so I'm just going to get out of it. It's just too small of a range.
All right, guys, I'm going to take this time. Have you guys heard of the TradeNet Challenge? All right, guys, this is definitely a great challenge. It's absolutely free, giving you a chance to win one of the intro accounts from TradeNet. They'll go ahead and let you trade with the broker that we trade on TEFs. You know, as a part of the TradeNet Trading Challenge, every trader that qualifies for this challenge is going to receive a trading demo account with a trading balance of $10,000. You know, $10,000 is more than enough buying power to pretty much purchase just about any stock, even stocks like that I was trading yesterday, like Grub, that were at the $70 range. You know, and the great part, this challenge only needs you to make $500 in net profit. You know, with $10,000 of buying power and you only needing to create $500 in net profit, this could definitely go ahead and be possible. The real key to the TradeNet challenge is that you must attain $100 at least 2 trading days. So essentially, you have to be positive and green on 2 of those days so that you can really get this challenge. The maximum total loss of any one day is going to be 300. And so you definitely don't want to lose. Oh, the daily loss is 100. Apologize. The maximum total loss on the account is 300.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't want to be pulling your account and risking too much on every trade. That's what they try to set you up for. They want you to go ahead and try to take one big swing, and you could lose the trade net challenge. But if you're smart, you take it like you trade your system, you can easily obtain that $500 by the end of the 5-day trading. The really great thing is this is going to give you an ability to win one of the intro accounts. That'll give you an access to $14,000 in a funded trading account. You'll get 70% of the net generated profits from that intro account. And it's also going to give you the great stuff like you'll be able to get into the TradeNet chat room. You'll be able to get a best-selling trading book, The Market Whisperer, and also access to the self-study course. One of the things we stress about is this gives you an ability to go ahead and trade the stocks that we trade every single day. We'll be here every single day looking through the watch list, trying to see the best tradable stocks to trade on TradeNet and TEFs. And you can go ahead and battle with us every single day.
Yep, and they're on sale. Intro packages are on sale for $375 for the next day until the end of this month. They're on sale. And so go check out the link. Like I said, there's a lot of benefits to using them. I think it's one of the cheaper bundles that new traders can do. I think new traders are stuck and they have to figure out how they're going to be able to short stocks, because with most conventional brokers you need $2,000 and for a margin account to short stocks. How are you going to be able to trade with no buying power? How are you going to be able to do a lot of this different stuff? I need a chat room, I need demo accounts. All of that comes with the intro package, plus the funded account, and the funded account works like a prop firm. There's a 70-30 split, there's a max loss of $700, but it gets your feet wet in trading, so you don't risk a ton of money. I think most new traders are going to end up depositing thousands into a regular broker and then losing all of that. Where with TradeNet, you're only risking what you pay for the package, which in this case is $375. And so it just makes sense. There's the link if you want to check that out. All right, so I'm in ST&E here, in with 50 shares, which isn't a bad share size relative to how much this stock is moving. I just got to be careful on any squeezes up.
Austin sounds like me today. I've been watching Hexo. I don't know what it's doing. And that's what it is, guys. It's what we call range bound, meaning that it's not breaking ranges. If you look at stocks, they're not breaking ranges. If you have a stock that is breaking range, that's where the momentum is, and you should look at that stock. I'm not seeing stocks just completely take off bullish. I'm not seeing stocks completely take off on the bear side. And when I see that, a lot of the times you're going to see is what I call full range move, when the move goes to the bottom of the range and the top of the range. And it's just stopping out traders in between, just collecting money. This is when the market just washes and repeats your money. And if you go ahead and you keep throwing it at it, I promise you, the market will take it.
Yeah, it just depends on your strategies, I think. I think there's some strategies you could take advantage of this market. And so, but if you're trading like momentum, you're not going to have any fun in this market. I think
And at least not today. I mean, I think
right.
we usually get kind of clear movers every now and then, every couple of days, and today it's just not it, right? Quick. You can maybe look at stocks on the top 20 list, and that's what I'm going to start doing.
Right.
Pull my top 20 list. Why? Those are the stocks that people are watching.
Yep.
So now I get to start going through stocks and looking for a correct pattern. And it has to be the pattern matching the price action with the right level 2 and time and sales. Okay. When the number one gainer of the day is only 16%, that should let you know something, guys.
AMD looked like a solid fade there. I'm really considering that one in SSNC just because they've been in that range, and I can just attack the range. STNE squeezing up. Got to be careful here. If it starts to really make a move over 06, I just got to bail out of this one.
Looking for a VWAP reject here in EMPH. VWAP reject. It's still range bound, but at least we have resistance above it to go off of.
All right, we get a rejection here. I'm going to be loving STNE. We just need the rejection. Maybe going to add a little bit more to it since I'm only in with 50 shares. But we need the rejection here first. You know, if we get a rejection and then a pop back up, I like it a lot more.
There goes the MPH. Didn't give me a shot. It gapped down on the next candle. It just said, I'm going back to the bottom of the range, but you're not going to get a chance.
Yeah. EMPH, I don't have super experience trading that one as much as I do some of these other ones. So it's one of those ones where it might set up like I want it to, but I just don't trade it enough to really know it. You know?
Look at MU. Back up above VWAP.
Yeah, MU's just acting sketchy today. It's been sketchy the last few days with at least with the patterns I've been trading. It's been faking out. Yesterday wasn't bad actually, but today it definitely is. It's just crossing over and under the VWAP, which signifies a neutral trend. Just can't pick a direction.
Chop.
Yep.
Chop, chop. Who wants to choppy chop?
All right, we're right at my risk level for this one.
Here's
Hands
one
over
that
the
looks
cover
interesting.
button. Which would?
OSTK.
Overstock. I
huge
completely forgot about
bullish
that one, man.
trend. Then huge range move all the way down to 22. Created one high, two highs here at 23.16. I'm going to let it try to break out one more time above that 23.16. If it fails to break out above 23.16, I'll go jump in at short.
Yeah, I mean, this is one that I was watching. I completely forgot about it. For me, for it to follow through with mine, it has to come back down to 62 and then bounce up to the VWAP at like 75. If it does that, I'll almost certainly take it. It also depends on if I'm still in this one on STNE or not, which went up to the top of my risk and then got rejected, so it did confirm it. ENPH might pull a rejection here too if it gets back up to the VWAP there.
This is one that has a little bigger range, so we might have to size down to 300 or 400 shares. There you go, turning down.
UA.
Looking like it's going to crack down below the VWAP here, but I need a bounce to try to go up there to that resistance one more time. I like to short off of above VWAP only if it rejected 3 times to break out. If it doesn't reject 3 times, if it rejects twice and just breaks down, that's not my complete pattern. I talk about my rule of 3 constantly, and I look for it. If it doesn't fulfill, I don't trade.
Right. All right, I feel like I'm going to get faked out here for STNE, but I got to hold it close to my risk and just stick with it. I'm keeping it so small, though, it doesn't really matter that much to me, but hands over the cover button because this one's got a big range, and if it squeezes over my risk, it can go quick.
But all right, again, here's it looks like we'll probably get that push in OTSK here. It's going to push above 23. We're going to see if it can break out above 16. If it doesn't, we'll go ahead and try to nail this down, back down to that 22 support.
STNE's battling the whole dollar now. There's 99s. It keeps testing it. We just want to see a flush at this point. The bid, there's only one order blocking an 84 fill on the level 2 for STNE, so we'll see if that big order gets filled or not. 99s. There's O2s, O1. Yeah, UAA did bounce. And this is what almost happens. This is what happens most of the time with big gapping down stocks.
If I do take this trade, guys, it's gonna be the last trade of the day. I feel like this is a market that I want to conserve my capital in. I'll take one more trade, one more attempt, but that's only if OTSK follows through here, tries to break out, fails, then I'll nail onto it. If not, I'm probably gonna just call it a day and save my money, guys. What's the rule of three?
Now we got a good
Excellent, you
class on it.
asked. We got two classes on it, I think. We have the bear side and the bull side where I talk about it. In the bull flags, you'll find me talking about it. And also in the shorts on bear flags, you'll find me talking about it. Definitely take a look at our course videos. They're absolutely free. You don't have to go ahead and put out $1,000 here. You can just check it out, see what you can learn from it, see what you can gain and improve your trading from it.
Yep, there goes AMRN. So this is why I bailed out of it right there. Glad I got out where I did with AMRN. That was the right move. It's testing the top of the range now, and STNE is actually coming back down here, which is great. I'm in it with 50 shares now, so I'm just gonna look for a solid move down to these lows here. We'll see.
Here comes that push for OTSK.
Back up to 95. I could add another 25 shares to STNE here. It just depends. Because now I can risk off of that, probably that 15 level all day. It just depends on what we get. If we get a quick bounce back up here, I'm not going to want it. But I see some ranges I might be able to attack today. There goes AMRN squeezing up, so happy to get out of there.
All right, seeing that drop down right there. Should have maybe got into that 13s, 23 13s. I had my finger on the short, but didn't get the 13s there.
Well,
Slight
Anthony,
hesitation there. Not really happy about that hesitation. Should have taken the trade up there on the push.
it's more the number of confirmations in a trend is the rule of three. Is really what it is. So it generally gives you solid risk reward levels, but it's more so confirmations in the trend is what the rule of three is.
Man, this is one of those where I can't chase. I gotta respect myself. I know what I'm doing. I'm not gonna chase here, guys. Gotta get a better entry. So entry right here just causes you to get into a world of pain if it goes right back up to where your original entry should have been. Right there on that squeeze, it showed me 23.14 for a second there on the bid. I should have jumped in there, being able to risk off a 34, which I have established right here from a resistance. And I could have jumped off of there and risked 20 cents there for a move back down to 22.50 and then $22.
All right, probably going to get squeezed out here on STNE as it moves up. Volume's super low, so anything could really happen, I guess, but we do want to see a rejection here. It's in this range. It's been here for a while. Look at I'll just draw this range so you guys can see it. That's my risk now. If it breaks that, it may fake me out, but we're looking for a flush back down here because really we'd like to see it down to this level here. Because that way it's not putting in a higher low, it's putting in a parallel low. If it puts in a higher low, then it's a bullish sentiment. And so that's what we want to see is a move back down to that 35.50 level. But again, it looks like I'll probably get stopped out.
All right, guys, short there in OTSK. Saw what we call price action deny there at 23. Got to hold now to instead of that 34, got to hold right above the highs, which are 23.22. 300 shares here.
SSNC is right at that level too. There's O1s for, wait, let me get my full size.
All right, let's see if we can get a hard move to the VWAP. All right, that's looking a lot better for us here. Starting to pressure down on the 90s. Don't want to see it past 23.10s. Gonna risk off of that 23.16. Really should have got that better entrance, guys. See how much of a big difference entry would make here. If I would have got in there at 23.14, right now I could be taking profits, guys. I would be up 15 cents, and I could have even just taken off a little bit to taking the pressure off the trade completely and just let the trade go. But instead, later entries closer to the kind of the breakdown points are going to get you in these points where you're kind of in between. You're holding to the stock, but you can't really cut it. You can't take it. You're in between.
So I got squeezed out of ST&E. Like I said, when it squeezes, it could squeeze big. So $14 loss, $36 day. Not a terrible day, not a great day. Just kind of a meh day. And so the only thing I'm going to look for now is if we can get a, like I said, if we get a really obvious high and then a rejection underneath that range, then I'll maybe consider it. But unless we get that, I'm not going to trade it. You know, I know I've been trading some after the stream ends every day, but again, I think the main reason for that, and I could always start the stream back up, I have considered that, but I think the main reason for that is because it's a very specific pattern that I look for after the stream. If you watch the videos, it's always that where we get a really obvious high and then a rejection and then a bounce back to the VWAP and then trading the range. And those don't appear always, and so sometimes I'm not going to see them. And sometimes it's going to take me a little while. And so that's why some of these aren't on the stream. I always make sure to show my trade log and my my tickets and everything like that so you guys can see it. But we'll see what else we have here. I'm also looking at SSNC. This is one of the ones I'm interested in if it can do that. And Overstock doesn't look terrible either. I could throw Mitch up now that I'm done.
Definitely entry mattering here. So I'm still just break even.
Later, Anthony. Later, brother. See you tomorrow, man. Yeah, hit that subscribe button, guys. Remember, appreciate the sub, by the way, Future. Thanks, brother. Hit that subscribe button. Go check out Trade Ideas, the best scanners in the game by far. There's the link in the chat if you want to check those out. And like I said, for the next day, TradeNet packages are only the intro package is only $3.75 for the next day. Until the end of this month, you can get the intro package for $3.75, which makes tons of sense. You know, it comes with 14K in buying power. There's no PDT rule. You can day trade as much as you want. The max loss is $700, and so you're getting almost twice as much than what you pay for it. And you're actually able to lose twice as much as what you paid for it. So the risk reward is solid. And some paper trading platforms are going to cost the same as 2 months of a 2 months of a paper trading platform. A lot of the time is going to cost the same as the intro package is today. And so considering that you can actually make money with the intro package, I think it just makes tons of sense risk reward wise for new traders. You can actually short stocks as well. And there's just a lot of benefits. The base package comes with 14K in buying power, no PDT rule, comes with a trading course, demo account, the funded account program, as well as a entry to their trading chat room. And so with all of that big bundle, it just makes sense. And there's the link in the chat if you want to check that out.
The chop is real today, man.
Yeah, I've seen some range bound plays that worked, but then a lot of them haven't. I think certain individual stocks are okay, but it just depends on what we trade. Like right now, AMD is starting to kind of set up for the strategy I've been using. So like if AMD comes up here and then flushes all the way back down to like 33.10 or 33.15, I might start to consider shorting that one. And so it just depends. I think it just depends on what stock it is today. Because some of them have
There
solid
we
volume.
go. Look at that. We got a shorter there, 18,000 shares short at $23. That's called price action, guys. Let's see if we can crack down below VWAP. That'll show confirmation now. We really don't want this to squeeze just immediately through 23 now. We want that to be that crackdown short that really breaks us down here. There you go. You see? Now we're down there to that 75, 78 area. Gonna give it a second here before I take some shares off.
Yeah, I'll be right back. It looks solid for you though, brother. But I'll be right back.
Yep. All right, guys. There's a nice little crack there, guys. We're gonna go ahead and take 100 off here. 100 shares taken off there at 73. Gave myself $23. Now let's let these less of these 200 shares work here. We're trying to hold them break even. We really want to not let this stock get above that $23 crackdown. So right now the risk is 23.05. Okay, we're gonna pull down our risk a little bit. I don't mind risking a little bit up if we get a bounce here because we've taken some profit. You know, if I lose 6 cents, 7 cents, 200 shares, that's fine. I already taken $23 anyways. I've taken 10 cent profit. So I could hold to a 10-cent risk here. Let's see what's going to happen here at the 75. If we get a knockdown to 22.50, we're going to hold and we're going to look for a bounce to VWAP to add into or a move back down to at least this 22.31 range. In the 31s, 35s, we could take profit.
Yeah, if Overstock can come down to appreciate the sub, Yosef. If Overstock can come down to really like almost close to where it's at now, 60 or 70, and then bounce back up to 80, I might add back to it. But hey, appreciate the sub, Tom. Welcome, brother. Appreciate it. And yeah, and hit that subscribe button. We do this live every weekday. So hit that subscribe button if you can.
Yeah. Well, once again, entry making a big difference here, guys. I wanted to take this trade short. You know, you hit the short rewind. I wanted to take this short on that third pop. That third pop, huge sellers in that third pop. Went up there to 23.14. See the big difference? 23.14. That breakdown to 75. You know, you're having huge range there. And the risk was in here at 14. It was only going to be 20-cent risk. You could have definitely gotten that 20-cent higher than that 20-cent break already, taking some profit.
Yeah, I'm starting to think about jumping in. I'm going to go ahead and jump in Overstock with 100 shares here as well. Maybe keep a risk level of that triple top up there at 20. And then I'm also looking at AMD to do the same thing. If AMD can flush down, I don't hate that one as well. We'll see, though.
Yeah, I really don't want to see it above 23 again. I want to see it just get killed here, especially since there's such a big share size that went through at 23. I talk about this on price and action. The price action right there was a rejection at $23, and boom, it went right back down to the support, which is the VWAP here. We can okay to let it bounce, but you don't want it to get into position of strength again. You want it to stay in the position of weakness, get knocked down again here in the 80s, and pull back down to those 22.50s.
Right. Yeah, I don't mind actually 23 as a risk level, mostly because if you look at it here, there we go. If you look at it here, the high of that opening candle, that first opening candle, is right there at 23 too. So
Yep.
23 makes sense.
Yeah, especially when you got all that volume that built up at that point.
Right.
That's really the kind of the key that I'm trying to make here. I mean, 18,000 shares with all the other volume. It's about, I can tell you, 6 times the amount of share that's gone through in one order. So no
Right.
one's taken this big of an order. The closest order you're gonna see is kind of like 3,000 or 4,000 shares. Everything else, this person took 18,000 shares, 800. So almost 20,000 shares there at 23.
Right.
And it makes sense when you look at the chart.
Another interesting level is the 2280 is actually no, actually that's wrong. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe that was MU that had the previous day's close right around that level. Yeah, the other one I'm looking at is AMD. Both of these are very small, just because, like Mitch said, the volume's not great today. The other one I'm looking at is AMD. If it can flush back down below the VWAP and then bounce back to it, I'll consider that for the same strategy that I've been using. Also, guys, go check out our website. You know, our website has tons of free content on this, guys. Just loads of free content. We got strategy breakdowns. We got video libraries. We got a free trading course. We got merchandise if you want to help support us. So go check out our website. We got a lot of cool stuff on it. A lot of different, resources for traders and for traders to take advantage of. And so go check it out. I'll post this link here. There's the link. Go check out our site.
Now we got a triple top there at that 2290. We want this to crack here. Hanging out here, man.
Yep. We'll see. It's just trading in between the spread right now. It's not really going to start to get worse for us until it breaks 87 or so. Once it breaks 87, then we might start to get concerned. But until then, it's just in the spread, in the range. There we go.
While we get a chance, guys, I hope you guys are checking out our free course. We're going to be putting out a great class, kind of more of a, a Q&A, just a little teaser out there. You know, one of the things that we like to do is definitely give back to you traders. And the only way we feel that we can give back is really giving you guys free kind of content, free knowledge that you guys can build off of. I mean, in the end, we do this because we want traders to grow and get to that next level. I think all of us want to see each other succeed. Um, I mean, we do have those, those outliers that come in the chat, kind of knock us down, but we're all trying to push each other to get to that next level. And that's really
Right.
why we come out with our classes and courses, is really trying to teach you guys the basics of trading, systematical trade, so that we can get to that next level.
Right.
So definitely, if you guys get a chance, check out our courses, check out the free content. It's absolutely free. You're not going to have to put anything up. tell us what you think. Tell us what's good about it. Tell us what's bad about it. We're not really going to be holding you accountable to that. What we want you more along to do is to actually take a look, let us know your feedback, see how we can improve your trading, or see how, hey, you don't agree with this. Why don't you agree with this? And then we can go ahead and take a look at it, take maybe a deeper approach to it. And then that way we can go ahead and keep breaking things down.
All right, I'm gonna
As
take half. I'm gonna
Yeah,
take
me
half
too.
off here. Missed it.
Yeah, it missed. It just flushed down for a second. Just wait.
Yeah, there we go. All right, I'm gonna take half off there. And then I'm gonna add back to it on any subsequent bounces. But this is the breakdown we were looking for. Nice little breakdown here. I'm gonna take you down so I can record it too. So if I do a recap, this will be in
Go
it.
for it.
Yeah, we get a bounce back up here to 70s. I'll add right back to it. And see, Mitch and I have a little bit different style, but we both kind of see the same things, and and even though our entries were different, we both kind of saw different things with our entries. They were both correct. Kind of the way that trading is that sometimes price of this bounces back up though because it is at the half dollar.
Yeah. I got no problem. This is where I was looking for at least that first move to go to.
Mm-hmm.
And we took this trade, guys, off 23.14 really. And when you look back at that 23.14 to risk 20 cents for this move, I'll take it anytime.
Yep. It's 48's crack. And this is the type of move that I talk about. In AMD, I'm going to start to look for this as well. Same type of move. And again, I mean, if it gets back up to 70s, I'm going to add my sizing right back and use the money in the bank to try to do that. AMD's dropping now too, so we'll start to consider that as well.
Yeah, next stop I think for this stock is going to be 30.
20.
30. I'll
Yeah.
look to take 500 shares or 50 shares off, another half.
Your courses are dope. Really easy to learn short strategies. I just wish I learned them before I blew away my shorting privileges. Yeah, man, it is what it is. Listen, every new trader does that, man. Not everyone, obviously. A large majority of new traders end up losing. So don't beat yourself up too much about it. The biggest thing is that you just learn from it, and you learn. There's a reason, and there's a positive reason and a necessary reason for losing your account, which is that it teaches you risk management, and it teaches you how to calculate risk reward, and it teaches you how to take smaller sizing when you first get started. I think most new traders just go big or go home, YOLO, buying 1,000 shares, and just kind of go YOLO with it. But I think new traders need to take it slow. And I know I'm a little bit different, but I'm years into my trading, and I'm still not taking full 1,000 share positions with most of the stocks I trade. I mean, I think I'm trading smaller stock or more expensive stocks than most, but the point still remains. All right, so we're gonna look to add it back on any subsequent bounces back up to the VWAP. We get up to 70, 65, 70. I'll add it right back because this is the pattern that I always look for. And at this point, it came back down to the bottom of the range under the VWAP, and now it's bouncing back, which is what I've been attacking nonstop. It's just about whether it's actually going to get up there.
I would like to see a good sizing come in here on the daily. We're getting a harmony right now. This can change very quickly to a red looking candle that just pulled back as long as we get this kind of push down here. Spy playing games today.
Yep.
Hey guys, stocks that are I'm seeing a stock that's getting a little bit momentum. I wouldn't trust it because it's such low volume, but Hook made a move there from 640, 650s up there to 690s.
I remember Hook. I've traded it before. Yeah, super low volume though. Even with this big move, 5,000 shares. It is tradable for us though, believe it or not.
Yeah, it is. That's why I have it. I keep an eye on there. I don't really like the way she trades, but
Right.
not too bad of a trade though. I found. How did I find it, guys? Top 20 list. If you go back to the chat, you'll be able to hear me say that, hey, I'm not seeing the stocks on my watch list be the stocks that are setting up great moves. Let's go ahead and pull the top 20 list. Let's find the stocks that are moving, and then we can trade off of that. I was able to
Right.
break down OTSK, see it trying to break out above that 2316 two times. I clearly stated in the stream I wanted to see it try to break out one more time, and if it failed that, we could go short. That's exactly what we did here. We were already able to pull out $67. So no matter what today, we're gonna be green, and I'm okay with a break even day. I don't know about you, John. So I'm gonna
Yeah,
go
for
ahead and
sure.
sit back here and try to get a good gain here.
Right, for sure. Yeah, I'm holding this one for sure. At this point, I'm looking on whether I want to add to it or not. If it gets back up to the VWAP, I probably will. And then I'll just stick with, let's see, that whole dollar risk. I think that makes sense.
So I'm gonna hold to that. I might add here at 2290 or 2285, but I would have to hold exactly break even with the rest. I'm not gonna put myself in a position to make this a red day. If it becomes a break even day, hey, I'll take it because that add back can also make it a 200 plus day.
Yep.
So let's see what happens here. Just focus in here.
All right,
What's the price action?
I'm gonna add 50 shares here. Uh, and just in case you get that rejection there, maybe add one more 50 share position if it bounces up. Uh, this is that same strategy I was talking about, where it puts in a really obvious high up there, and then it comes back down to the bottom of the range, and then it bounces back to the VWAP. And so we're still not quite at the VWAP yet. But again, I mean, I'm only in with 100 shares, so it's still a very small position, and we're going to see if it can at least come back down to 22.20, 22, maybe 22. Look at Hook get washed out there. Just all the way back down to 660.
That's what I'm telling you. That's a push for a
Yeah, right.
stock not moving. 40
Yeah,
cents. Chew.
just took a dive for sure. All right, so here's 69. I could add another 50 shares here, which I'm thinking about. Again, I gotta really think about if I got stopped out here, I'd be down $60 on the day, which isn't terrible, but this is the risk level I'm looking for. So I might add another 50 here, um, and then just let the rest of this play out. My average now is 70, which isn't bad. All right, there's 80s. Not really what I wanted to see here, guys, but that's okay. We just want to see a flush back down here.
This is just a third high from a 1 minute micro move. You see the micro move?
Huh?
Do you see how? Okay. So you see how when it tried to get above 23, it did that 1, 2, and 3, and now it cracked that 23, and now it
Right.
did a down 1, down 2, up 2. It's just holding that resistance right there. You can draw a trend line, what I call a micro move from that 23, that first crackdown to this resistance, and you'll start seeing kind of where it should hold. Should get some hold up here right there at the resistance 85, 86. Really shouldn't get above that. Above that, it could look bullish.
Yeah, I see this little confirmation here. That's what I said, 87. I think I said that earlier, which is if it breaks 8, we'll look good until it breaks 87. If it breaks 87, that's not what we want.
No.
And you can see all of this little confirmation here at 87, and that's why we see both saw that level here. So that's the level we do not want it to break. We'll see. But yeah, I'm trying to. So the way I attack these, I'll try to draw it on Grub, which is kind of. Oh no, it wasn't Grub. What was the one I did the other day? I don't think it was AMD. It might have been. Let me look. Yeah, here it is. So this is the same thing. If you look at AMD here, so you get the really obvious high. You get the really obvious high up here, and then you get a flush all the way back down. Where's the VWAP? Where's the VWAP going? Let me put that up. And then you get a really obvious breakdown below that, and then you get a bounce to the VWAP, and then a rejection. So that's essentially, it's kind of like a head and shoulders pattern, but with a downward trend is what it is. But yeah, we want a flush here. We don't want to see a push up anymore. AMD's steady pushing up still. All right, there's 83s, 85s. We can let it test 87, but if it strongly breaks it, I guess I should probably get out. Specifically here as well, 89, 90.
All right, got a add point right here. All right, just hit my add there, guys. Got to hold to above 90s.
Yeah, there's the confirmation.
Above 90s, I'll get out, guys. I had a great add point there. Put the add out at 87. Got the add right there at 87. Just got to hold and make sure that this doesn't go just springing into the 90s here. 90 is fine. Above 90, I'm getting out.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same. Like, I could let it test 87, and that's kind of why I'm giving it 90. But we get a strong break. I don't want to get stuck in a squeeze over the whole dollar of 23 is what I do not want to do.
Definitely not.
Yeah, it's 87 again, and it's gonna battle this level. It just depends on who wins, the longs or the shorts in it. There's 90s. We're gonna flush back down.
Quick rejection there off of 90. 90 is going to be that key point.
Yep.
If I see a whole bunch of shares just filling in that 90, you're going to see it pop up. I think I got a great add there at 87. So I'm happy with my trade regardless of the outcome here.
I do like that wick that it put in. I'm going to base my risk off of that one at 91. And so I'll let it test that wick, but I think if it breaks, it's going to break big. I think we have to watch the bid too, because I think the ask is going to fake us out a lot.
I agree.
There we go.
Looking good for us.
There we go.
Boom.
That's that confirmation in that level, man, that 87 level.
Hey, you like my top tick?
Yeah.
Top tick that, baby.
All right, and now this is beautiful for us now that we got that rejection.
Yeah.
As long as we don't get a quick bounce back, which does happen. So sometimes you'll get a very quick bounce right back. So this is just squeezing people out real quick. As long as we don't get that, we should be okay. But we got to be careful of that because, again, market makers love to do that, you know.
Yeah, because they know that's the level they can go ahead and just pull back, collect some volume, and try to swing it back up there.
And they're just knocking stops down. They're just knocking stops out.
So I actually want low volume here. The only thing that I would be okay with seeing is one big order, and that's usually a shorter. But I want low volume here. I don't want that arithmetic volume where it's like 100, 100, 100, 100, 100 just rolling through.
Right.
But I was able to size in again and get up to 250. So
It's not bad. Yeah, I'm in with 150. I just gotta, like I said, I don't mind losing up to 100, 150 bucks with this account. I just have to try to get my winners up to that level, you know, and try to keep that as consistent as I can is the big issue and the big kind of step for me. All right, so the next area we want to see break is this 65 level. It's got a lot of support there.
This breaks down. I'm taking some profit, guys. If it bounces up here, just hold into break even.
I might get another added here. It just depends. Let me see. I've been with 150. I might just add another 50 here. Try to help my average a little bit. So yeah. All right, so the good news is that we didn't get an immediate flush back up there, and like that's the good news. But we do have to watch for a squeeze back up there for sure.
Yeah. My concern is now there's volume coming in on the bag buying side, 71 and 67s. So I'm concerned now. I just got to pay attention and hold to my limit.
All right, so yeah, there we go. The level we don't want to see break on our risk side is 87, and the level we want to see break on the downside is 60, 65. Those levels need a break for this thing to start to look weak, for longs to start covering.
Yeah, that kind of flip around is what I don't like to see when it flips. So just got to hold to the limit from now on.
83. Yeah, just to move right back up there. And like we can let it test here. We got to be careful. Obviously, we want to see it put in a lower high from the previous one because that shows kind of a bearish sentiment. $85s. I need to get myself some poker chips. Some poker chips I can twiddle around and play with. I'm doing it with this CBD vape and it's not as fun. All right, so here's the 87 test. 88. So yeah, like I said, we can let it test 90. It's gotten flush there twice already.
Rejection off of 87 is fine. That's actually a good thing.
Right.
That was the level that we were talking about earlier. So if we see just a quick rejection here down to the support, that's going to show us a really good sign. A break above this 87 will probably squeeze us to this 90.
Yep.
There's 88 showing up. Let's see if anyone buys it up.
It's 87s again.
Yeah, only 200 shares going through there.
I got 85. A big order at 84, a 3,000 share order at 84. Yeah, I don't see any other big orders. See some red on the time and sales now, but no major orders. I see one share. Somebody bought one share at 85.
All right, here it's going to go in pressure here. The next candle, when it closes, that's going to be the real key. If the next candle opens higher and pushes up, I'm getting out. If the next candle pushes lower to the VWAP, we'll go hold for that breakdown to 2250. Next candle is going to be very important. You see how it opens and tests immediately?
Yep.
So that's how we know that it's putting the pressure right now on the buys. Let's see if they buy it up. If not, it should swing the pressure to the low.
Here's 88s, 89s. Here's the break. It's going to squeeze up here, I think. There's 90s. Getting very, very close.
Testing. Next candle's going to do it.
Back to 88s. 87s, 85s. All right. So put in another confirmation there, but we're still not in the clear yet. We need it to come back down below this range.
Mm-hmm.
I think this might actually be the first time on stream that you and I have taken the same trade if we do get stopped out here. First time we've gotten stopped out together in a trade. I don't think we've ever taken the same trade. Most of the time when we take the same trade, we win. All right, there's 91s. I'm out. Maybe got spooked
holding. Out. I'm only seeing 88s rolls through on the time and sales. Paying attention to my time and sales, not looking at the level 2.
Yeah, I'm done for the day. Less than $70 loss, so it's fine. My 150 is that max loss for today, so it's what it is.
Remember, guys, I'm at a higher average than John. That's why I'm holding at this second.
Yeah, kind of a so-so day. I mean, not a terrible day, but not a great day either for me.
There you go. Rejection off of 90 there. Now I got to look for 91s or 92s to show up here. 91s or 92s, and I'll get out. If it rejects right back down to VWAP, then I'm in the green.
Yeah, I'll throw you up. Yeah, there we go.
I literally had my hand on the cover when you covered.
So did I. I mean, that's why I covered it. It just popped up a little bit too much.
Yeah. And that's how you do it. You have your hand ready. You see the number, you get out. John felt the number was there. He saw the 90s fill. 90s did fill for a second. Yeah, I just didn't see 91. And that's what kind of what I was looking to see if I was going to get a 91 share to go through.
Yeah, Nice, that's me, man. What's up, bro?
There you go. Good rejection there. Not at 84s, guys.
I got faked out. And I mean, that's what I called out. I said, look, we got to watch the level 2. And I just didn't trust my
All right.
advice.
If we get to 74, guys, I'm going to hit an ad here. You see how it swings back there? That's why you got to wait for it to break VWAP. VWAP is your determining factor here. Let it break it. Let it break it first. If not, then you're chasing. The squeeze up here could be very quickly to 22.94. I see that on the third level of the level 2. I'm just going to respect that. If that comes up, even on the ask, I got to get out. Can't risk all of that. Here's 90 showing up on the ask again. Time and sales only 84s, 87s. That's why I'm holding. This is when I like to pay attention to the time and sales, not so much to level 2. The level 2 is going to fake you out here.
Yep.
Just pay attention to the share size that's actually going through. That looks good. Look, 4,000 shares at 81. So now we definitely have to respect your level. Don't let it push past it, but understand that you actually have weight on your side now.
Right.
And we got a triple top.
What did BYND do? I was looking at BYND. BYND, I called that one out earlier this week and just said it looked super weak. Because it did. It just looked sketchy. BYND. It's looking strong today, though. And this is what you get a lot of the time with big gap downs, especially monster gap downs like BYND, is you get these rebounds there.
Woo! Look at that squeeze.
Yep.
91's filled, out. 95's filled. So I saw this is a perfect example of level 2 to show you guys price action. And even though it didn't go our way, look at my realized, guys. What am I going to do? I'm going to break even on the day.
Right.
And that's how you trade.
That's how you do it, guys.
I gave myself more than the possibility there. If that breaks there through the 70s, this is coming back down to 22. And so that's going to be, a 90-cent gain on 250 shares. That could be more than enough reward to give us the big win for the day. I saw that rejection there. We got a triple top there at 90. When it came back down to that 81, looks like that 4,000 shares was someone adding to their position long, and it pushed it through the level.
Yep. But yeah, guys, we're probably going to close it down for the day. So yeah, hit that subscribe button. click the like button. And one thing that really helps us, guys, if you click the bell next to the subscribe button, it will alert you every time we go live and upload a video. And so if you want to help support us, click the bell next to that subscribe button. Also, guys, if you want to use the same platform and broker that Mitch and I are using, go check out TradeNet. For the next day, they actually have a sale where you can get the intro package for $375. The max loss is $700, so you actually have the ability to lose $700 with the intro package. It comes with a trading course, access to a chat room, a demo account, and tons of other stuff, awesome stuff for it. So go check that out. I'll post that link as well. Like I said, it's only going to last for the next day or so, and so go check that out. You can also check out the TradeNet Challenge, which is completely free. And so if you want to check that out and check out the TradeNet Challenge, I'll post that link here as well. Again, it's completely free to enter. And at the very least, you're going to get a demo account for a few days while you're in the challenge. But if you make $500 in net profit by 5 trading days while following their rules, you win a free intro package on TradeNet. And so it's completely free. I'll post that link as well. But again, only for the next day are you going to be able to get the intro package for $375. After that, I think it goes back up to $400. And so I'll post the challenge link as well. But like I said, intro packages are pretty cheap right now. So, yeah, that's it for today, guys. Good luck in the markets. We'll see you all a little bit later. And, yeah, have a good day, guys.